What's up, guys? All right, somebody asked me a question about my nightmare versus guts death battle prediction, and yes, I do know it autocorrect me and put guys. I know his name's Guts, but anyway, they asked me, did I really think Toph shouldn't have won the death battle against her versus Gaara? You can go to my video, see that the prediction for that, and my review and thoughts of that. But I thought I'd break it down. Okay, and hold on. I'm gonna give shout out to the person who asked me the question. I like interacting with you guys. If you guys leave comments, I will respond. Whether it's on YouTube, Twitter, or something. I actually like when we can communicate back and forth like that. All right, 247 asked me about, do I really think Toph should have lost that one? And if I do, what are my thoughts on it? Now, if you go back to that video, the Nightmare versus Guts down in the comments, you can see my reply already, but I'm going to be getting in a little more detail about it because instead of typing it out all the way, yeah, I'd rather just talk about it. Plus, I need more new videos anyway, so well, let's get started. So, first things first, the sand coffin pressure. Okay, now when Toph actually was caught and guard used sand burial or sand coffin, that pressure is enough to just shatter bones, anything on the inside. So it's not really explaining. Even if she did cover herself on that whatever that string of metal was, that shouldn't have done nothing with the pressure at all. That shouldn't have saved her or whatever. And when you use sand tsunami, and Toph before she did the whole little metal string, two rocks against her, near her, and then a big old wave of sand. That he could have just sand funeral, boom, tsunami funeral, boom, crushed her right then. And even if he did, how would she survive under all that sand? Yes, she may be able to sand bend, but bending includes movements and having space to move. When you're restricted, can you bend? Unless you're boomy, you can't do that with your mind. Because other than that, and the guy with the third eye, I categorize that as fire bending, where he's shooting the beams of combustion from his forehead. Okay, yeah, she shouldn't have survived that pressure, in my opinion. Because you get caught with that, it's pretty much game over. It's destroying your bones, making you bleed from the eye, all on the inside just from that. And if he did it with all that sand on top, that's a sure kill. Okay, next thing. This is what confused me because I thought they were doing like young Toph versus young Gaara, or older Toph versus older Gaara, or young Toph versus older. I don't know what they were doing there because they gave Toph the abilities of not only her young version, but her older version as well. But they never really state where they're going to use older Toph. I mean, older Gaara, younger Gaara, teen Gaara. How they took the Shukaku from Gaara. Now, if they were going to give Toph her abilities from young and old, they took away the Shukaku. Obviously, they knew Toph wouldn't be able to stand against the Shukaku. That's a tailed beast, and there ain't really much she can do about that. So the fact they took that away from him, I'm not too upset because, well, might have wanted a fun challenge, but they didn't limit some things Toph could do. Well, like if they were going to get rid of such a big jump as the Shukaku, why go searching through the extra media and content? I thought they, went from the source, the show, and all this, but they went to bonus content commentary off a DVD set. I don't know. They should have just did more. I deal what they were doing there at all. Okay, next thing, the difference in combat style. Now they made Gaara seem like sluggish, and since they took the Shukaku, obviously they were going with Kazekage Gaara. Now, for those who don't know what Kazekage is, in the land of wind, there's the Sand Village. Out of all these ninja, you got the rookies getting the journeyman tuning, and you got the elite, the Joni. Gar is Kazekage, which means he's above all them. He gives them orders. and he's pretty powerful. Like he's fully deserving of that spot in terms of power. And Gaara, he's not sluggish anymore like that, like he used to be. He's not sluggish. They gave Toph her headstrong kind of fighting ability, like fighting it take. But Gaara's he's actually pretty strategic. He would pick up on a weakness or a habit or something, and he strategized. After all, he was chief of the Shinobi army, which was all the nations combined. He even Kages, which are the leader of villages, older than him, respected his views on the world because Gar went through struggle. He went through problems. So yeah, he's not stupid. He's not slow. He's quick to think of a solution. He's quick to act. And yeah, one of the jutsu that they left out was the Desert Lair Imperial Funeral. Now, if I remember correctly, this one is the sealing one, which I'm no spoilers. He sealed somebody. He sealed somebody with it. Now he could have done that. He done that of his own power, but they didn't give it to him. Like if they can go through a DVD extra just to give Toph that extra push to win, they could have went to the manga because eventually they must have stopped. They must have just stopped. Like, okay, Gar got kidnapped, got Shikaka taken out. Let's not do anymore. But we know about Toph. We'll do extra research on her. Like, if you can go to a DVD extra for more info on Toph, why not search up manga sources for Gaara, at least to help him out or something? See, in turn, like if it was a one-on-one battle, which it was, on equal terms, where they gave each side something, I'd still approve of how it ended. Even if Gar lost Toph, I'd be like, okay, they both gave it how they both had what they had, and Toph won. Have Wizard Boomstick spit some logic and the reason at the end and call it a day. That was a good fight. I enjoyed that one. But they limited Gaara. Especially, they gave him sand armor, but they didn't give him sand clone. Now, in his fight against Rock Lee in the tuning exams, he was able to get pummeled by Rock Lee's overwhelming speed with the sand shell, but he's able to make clones and substitution, the sand substitution. Now that's key. If you ever get close enough to grab, punch, or whatever, Gar, he can leave the shell of sand behind alone. He's able to do that, but they just let Toph come up behind him and chokehold him. And that's another thing. His mother sand, which protects him. Even if Gaara can't physically see where the enemy is, evident by Rock Lee's overwhelming speed when he dropped his weights, the sand still reacted to where it felt Rock Lee was at. So even if Gaara doesn't see something coming, the sand still would protect him. And they just let Toph get all over him like that without the sand trying to do anything, especially since he has the gourd on his back, which has his chakra infused sand. Now, this is another point, but I might be wrong. If there's chakra infused sand, wouldn't it be a little harder to control than normal sand? And if Toph tried to, manipulate it a bit with Gaara, since it has his chakra, that he'd know. That's just one of the quick, because I noticed this is getting long. The third eye and the absolute defense. Absolute defense. I'm gonna speed up a bit. Now, someone named Kibimaru, who was able to manipulate the calcium in his bones to be as strong as steel, couldn't even get past Gaara's absolute defense. But Toph was able to break off a piece, harden it, turn it to earth, or whatever the hell she did, and knock him right out of it like it was nothing. Now, I don't think you can earth bend through earth. You can just earth bend earth itself. But yeah, this is getting a little long. Those are just a few points. I had more, but decided to share this with y'all. So see y'all next time. If you have any questions or concerns, just hit me up on my Twitter. Links in the description below, or you can just leave a comment.